morning, good afternoon, and a very good evening to you. We're going to have a tube. Hope you're today up feeling grand and all is well in your world. Hello there. No nose diving, Hoffner. Okay, I guess put my arm like that. Okay, so yes, hello everybody. Welcome to another Q&A Wednesday, everybody. So yes, let's get to question one straight away, shall we? Let's dive in and see where we go. Let's put my plectrum in there because I'll keep it in my finger and it'll start to hurt. Okay, so question one. I am a beginner guitarist and I have trouble playing bar chords. The high E especially comes out muted. Is there a trick to help with this, or is it just down to practice? Yeah, it's just down to practice. Bar chords, playing bar chords and playing over strings is not an easy thing to do when you're a beginner. It's one of the hardest things to do, is to do a bar chord when you're beginning guitar. It's just not, it's just hard to do barring over strings. In my, I couldn't do it for a while. I just did the you know, the root, fifth, and octave chord. I just did those. You know, I just did like standard power chords without actually having to bar chords like that, because I couldn't bar chords either. Like you say, all the high E strings came out muted, so it was like that. So you get this kind of like muted sound. So yeah, so I wouldn't really worry about it, but because it will come with time. So it's just down to practice. You just got to keep going and going and going at it. And it may not happen, you know, it won't happen in a couple of months. It may not happen in a year, but you will eventually get there. You know, it just takes time. Like anything with guitar. You know, nothing's quick and easy with the guitar. It's all, you know, it's all really hard and hard fought for, if you will. That's kind of like a thing, kind of thing. There's nothing easy about guitar playing. You've really got to work at it. But what the thing is, what you put in, you do get back out. So if you put a lot into the guitar, it will give you a lot back. It just, you know, but you've got to be patient. You've really got to be patient. When learning any instrument in the world, you've got to have the patience to do it, because it can get annoying sometimes. It can get dreary and tedious and all this kind of thing. But if you keep going, it's worth it. And you've got to keep going though. That's the key thing. And you've got to practice. Even 5 minutes a day is enough to start progressing. If you did 5 minutes a day for a month, you would notice how you gradually are stepping up. And it's always gradual. It's never kind of like, you know, one day you're trying to learn Yngwie Malmsteen's Far Beyond the Sun and the next day you can play it. It's not like that. You know, it's a case of one day you're learning Yngwie Malmsteen's Far Beyond the Sun and in about 4 years' time you might have mastered it. You know what I mean? That's what it comes down to. And bar chords is no real difference really, especially if you're getting all the strings. You know, it takes time. You've really just got to work at it and practice at it hard, and eventually you will be able to do it. But it just takes time. So just be patient and be aware that it's not going to happen quickly. You know, you just got to work. The thing about guitar is you've got to earn things from it. You can't. There's no quick, cheap kind of cheat routes. You know what I mean? You've got to earn it. You've really got to put your time in and work at it. And then once you can do it, you've earned it. You know what I mean? Anybody can tell anybody how to do something, but it's down to you to actually earn it at the end of the day. So yeah, nicked that line from Andy Timmons, but he's very, very right. He's very, very right in that. So yeah, just keep practicing. Just keep practicing. You will get there eventually. It just takes time. You know, barring all strings is not an easy thing to do, especially for beginners. Bar chords are not conducive to ease at all. It's very hard to do. So if you can't do it, don't worry about it. You will be able to eventually. Just do what you can do for the time and do not get stressed about it. Time will solve all issues. Yeah, it will. So yeah, just keep going and you'll get there eventually. Just breathe, take your time. As for anything, learning anything, you just got to take your time. You got to be really patient. You also asked what Les Paul guitar may be better for a budget other than an Epiphone Les Paul. Revelation do amazing Les Paul style guitars. Just stunning. I think one of the best Les Paul style guitars I've ever played was that green Revelation with the P90s. It was absolute. Oh my gravy! That guitar makes me dribble now. Like Homer Simpson thinking about donuts. But yeah, Revelation do gorgeous, gorgeous LP style guitars. And also Vintage do great LP style guitars as well. So they'd be my two brands I would recommend. Revelation and Vintage. You can't really go wrong with either. They're absolutely amazing. And they're really budget friendly as well. Especially Revelation. It just... I can't say enough good things about Revelation. I really can't. And Vintage as well. But in troubling times, I have heard things about Vintage, but we all know about that, so I'm not going to talk about that. But yeah, there would be the ones I would still recommend is Revelation and Vintage. The Vintage Lemon Drop I would highly recommend, and Revelation, any of them. They all just seem to be really awesome. So yeah, that's what I'd recommend. They're the same kind of budget as an Epi, but well, no, they're not. They're a bit cheaper than an Epi, but in my opinion, they're better. Epiphones are really good. And I understand why, you know, they've got such a reputation, Epiphone, but they always sound like, you know, that's how the pickups sound. It's always like they're gagged. They don't, you know, mine only came alive when I de-waxed them, you know. Anyway, but yeah, they would be the ones I'd recommend. Like I say, Revelation and Vintage, if you're looking for a budget style Les Paul that isn't an Epiphone. Okay, so yes, I hope that's answered your question. That was quite quick. I did a mini tangent in the in the first part of the question, but it's only a mini one. But anyway, that might change yet. We have 6 questions. We have 5 more to go, so the tangenting may continue. Ah! Weird. Anyway, question 2. Question 2 today is, what happened to you giving Skype lessons? Okay, a lot of people asked about Skype lessons. Firstly, it came down to me just not having the time to do it. There were certain things going on at that time. I didn't have the time to do it. Now, I'm terrified of Skype lessons. It's as simple as that. I really want to do Skype lessons. I really, really want to do Skype lessons. But I am terrified. I am scared to death that I'm going to be giving out bad information, bad teaching, bad everything. You know, I'm scared of it. It's simple as that. You know, much in the same way I am doing teaching videos. I don't put off teaching videos. But the only reason I've done any teaching videos recently is because just things have been a bit, you know, to say the least, things have been a bit thingy. And I just wanted to play guitar and get it out. But I will get back to doing, you know, John Frusciante lessons, Jimi Hendrix lessons, Rory Gallagher lessons, and Peter Green lessons soon. It's just I need to clear what's going on at this point in time. It's not the easiest of times right now. Not necessarily for me, more for other people, but like, you know, but it does affect me nonetheless. I know it's not really a good enough excuse, but yeah. So I will get back to teaching videos soon. But again, the whole Skype lesson things, I really want to do it. It'd be a great thing to do. I'd love to do it. It's just that I am scared of it. And when I get to that point in my head, I've got to talk myself back into it. Because I'm so edgy about... I'm just so edgy about that whole thing. I don't want to be steering people down the wrong road. And I'm terrified of doing that. And I'm terrified of somebody coming back saying, you said this and that didn't work and this and the other. And it just really... It hits me hard, stuff like that. And maybe it shouldn't, but it does. And I get really edgy and funny about stuff. And so I want to do Skype lessons. And believe me, when I finally get myself talked into it, which is what I've got to do, I've got to talk myself into doing things. And it just sometimes takes a bit of time, you know. The old brain doesn't like things sometimes, and it takes a bit of... coercing, if you will, or hijacking, or I don't know, bribing. I don't know, but yeah, when I do eventually decide to do Skype lessons, people of the tube, you'll be the first to know. I will do a video saying Skype lessons are available. So yes, hopefully in the future. I really want to do Skype lessons, but I say at this point in time, they terrify me just for, you know, certain little stupid reasons. And like I say, I will be doing teaching videos again soon. I've got plenty to do. I've got Voodoo Child Part 2 to do. I've got more Chili Peppers songs and John songs to teach. I've got more Peter Green stuff to kind of go through. I've got more Jimi Hendrix stuff to go through. I've got other series I want to start, like a Paul Kossoff one and Mike McCready when I get to them. You know, I've just got to be careful I don't take on too much, if you know what I mean, because I could get snowed under very quickly. I feel a bit kind of snowed under as it is, but not in a bad way at this point in time. I feel snowed under in the fact of, like, wicked. I've got so much to do, I can't wait. You know what I mean? I don't want to get to a point where I've got so much to do, I actually literally can't keep up with it. I don't want to get to that point, so I'm just taking it carefully. One step at a time, But yeah, so Skype lessons will happen. It just takes me a bit of time to sort this stupid machine out. But yeah, I really want to do Skype lessons. I would love to teach some of you out there one-to-one. It'd be so cool. It'd be great to talk to you, see, to put faces to names and all that kind of thing. And it'd be really, really cool. It'd be really, really cool. And it's that part really, really gets me excited for doing Skype lessons. But it's my brain freaking me out and scaring me about certain things. So, but yeah, I will get there, I promise, at some point. So, yeah, that's what's happened to Skype lessons at this point in time. It's not a good enough excuse, I know, at all, but it's the only one I've got. So, and at least it's true, at least at least I can be honest that I'm terrified and I'm scared of doing that kind of thing at this point in time. So, yeah. But anyway, but yeah, I will hopefully get to it at some point. So, moving on. Me. Okay, so question 3 is so I hope I answered the question. Okay, question 3. What are your favourite tracks off Red Hot Chili Peppers' album Blood Sugar Sex Magic, and why? And also, how did you get the funk tone you had in the Psycho Sexy teaching video? Okay. Favourite tracks on Blood Sugar Sex Magic are Apache Rose Peacock, just because I don't know, it's just something about it. I just love it. I Could Have Lied, just because it's just gorgeous. I love Blood Sugar Sex Magic as a song. That's gorgeous as well. It's an amazing song. Breaking the Girl. One of my favourite songs from that era is Sicko Mechanico, which didn't actually make it on the album, but it's an amazing song. And I love that song so much. It's a great, great song, but it didn't actually make it. Same with Soul to Squeeze. Soul to Squeeze didn't make it onto the album, but it should have done. But it didn't. And so those 6, I could go on. But yeah, I really like Apache Rose Peacock. I think that's... I don't know why that sticks out so much to me, that song, but it does. I would say between that and I Could Have Lied, that's my kind of favourites. But like I say, and Sicko Mechanico, which I really, really love. I don't know why that didn't make it on the album. It's amazing. And Salt to Squeeze, obviously. But, it's hard to pick. It's really hard to pick one and say, that's the one I really, really love. But the reasons why I like songs, it's hard to explain. It could be a melody, it could be a rhythm, it could be a lyric, it could be a guitar solo, it could be a riff, it could be a bass line, a drum line, a vocal line, whatever. It could be a million different kind of reasons. It's hard to kind of pin it down to one thing. As long as I can feel it, though. When I can really feel the song, that's when it means the most to me, kind of thing. It's really kind of like Scar Tissue and Don't Forget Me. They're the most meaningful Chili Peppers songs to me. There's just something. Well, I know why Scar Tissue is, and I'll get to that in a video soon. But I Don't Forget Me really just hits, excuse the pun, but strikes a chord with me really deeply. So yeah. Be that for what it is. But yeah, they're my favourite. They've been my favourites, if I'm being perfectly honest. They're just amazing, and that album's just shockingly good. I'm gonna yawn, everybody. Oh, sorry about that, everybody. I'm not tired. I don't even know why I've yawned. Have I ever yawned on YouTube before? Probably. I don't know. Anyway. But yeah, they've been my favourite songs. The reason why, it's hard... I could talk for hours about what a song means to me and how and why and this, that and the other, but, I think that's for another video. That feels like it's for another video. I could talk for an hour on that, easily, of why songs mean so much to me and when you listen to music, why certain things stick out to you more than others and this, that and the other, So I think that's a video unto itself, really. So I don't really want to talk about that too much, just in case I ever want to do kind of like a stupid rambling video where everyone's just like, "Oh, shut up, Dave." Anyway, But yeah, your part of your question was, how did I get the funk tone for So Psycho Sexy? I don't remember what amp I was using. I don't know if I was using the CR or the MG, but it was the Golden Plexi pedal, I think. I don't even remember, but I'm pretty sure it was the Golden Plexi pedal and the Ibanez Wah. I don't remember what guitar I used to teach in that video. Most probably my White Strap, but I don't actually know. But that's what I was using. That's what I would have been using. Would have been the Golden Plexi by Tone City, running to either the MG's Overdrive 1 channel or the Orange CL120's Dirty channel, depending. I would have to go back and watch, but either way, the amps would have been set up really clean, and the main tone would have been coming from the Golden Plexi with the tone down all the way, the volume at half, and the gain about somewhere between 7 and 8 o'clock, about 7:30ish, somewhere between 7 and 8. So really, really low, and it just gives you that really kind of cool, kind of break up, kind of cleany, crunchish sound we all know and love. Not too clean, not too distorted, but perfectly in the middle. Okay, yeah, so that's what I was using to get that sound. And I say the wah parts were done with the Ibanez Wah, I think. Or did I use the Vox? I don't know. I don't remember. But yes, either way, it would have been a Vox Wah or the Ibanez Wah. So I'm guessing I would have used the Ibanez. Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, that's what I used, Golden Plexi and either one of these two amps. So yeah, so I hope that's answered your question. Moving on to question 4 now. I feel like I'm blasting through these today's. What's today's, Dave? I don't know. What is today's? Today. Blasting through these today. Okay, so question 4 is, what's your favourite films and genre of films? I'm a big horror movie fan. I love horror movies. I always have been. And sci-fi films as well. I do like action films as well, but my favourite films are horror movies and sci-fi films. My favourite film of all time is Aliens, which I don't know if you can see that. It's quite bright today. But yeah, my favourite film of all time is Aliens, closely followed by, could be quickly followed by, depends on how fast they can run. But closely followed by The Thing. They're my two favourite films of all time, Aliens and The Thing. Closely followed by Terminator 2, Judgment Day. I love that film. But yeah, Aliens and The Thing are my favourite films of all time. If I could watch two films for the rest of my life, those would be the two I would pick. So yeah, I just really love them. They're really, really cool. Aliens has just been a favourite of mine forever. It's just one of those films that I never get bored of watching. I just watch it and just like I just love it. I'm watching it just like totally immersed in it. Like, this is the best thing I've ever seen in my life. Even today, the first time I saw it, I loved it. And I always, as a big Alien fan, I've always wanted to own a pulse rifle, but I know they don't exist. But I know you can get replicas, but they're well out of my price range. But I have my, I've got a few little kind of Alien kind of bits and pieces, but including my my face hugger, who is he's out again. He's always out. I don't know. Shouldn't let him out so much, to be honest with you. He goes out, trying to destroy the world. I don't know. You can't, face huggers, you can't live with them and you can't kill them because they'll, leak acid everywhere and melt through your house. And you as well if you're not careful. So anyway, but yeah, my favourite genre of film is horror sci-fi films. And I say my favourite films of all time are Aliens and The Thing. The Thing is just a masterpiece of tension and just horror and just everything. And it's just, yeah, I might have to go and watch these films after filming this video. Yeah, I remember the first time I watched The Thing, I must have been about, I don't know, about 9 or 10. I was very young when I watched The Thing the first time, and I was terrified. I was absolutely terrified by it. No, I was younger than that then. I was definitely younger than that. I don't know how young I was, but I was that young I had to sleep in my mum and dad's bed. Let's To put it that way, I was that scared. Especially the bit with the dog. Where the dog splits open. Every time I closed my eyes, that's all I could see was the dogs. And it terrified me, so I had to sleep in mum and dad's bed that night. Little Dave was scared. So, but yeah, but it made such an impression on me that when I revisited the film years later, when I watched it, I was just like, I absolutely love this film. Again, in the same way that I love certain songs, I can't exactly explain why, but there's a feeling these films give me, the same way as music gives me a feeling, that I just kind of like gravitate towards and just love and just really get on with. And it just appeals to me on a certain kind of like front where I'm just like, I just love this. I am absolutely in hog heaven with this, whatever it is. You know what I mean? So, yeah, much in the same way as kind of like, you know, computer games, Resident Evil, for instance, and Metal Gear Solid and Silent Hill. Much in the same way those games appeal to me, it's the same way those films do and music does and the guitar does. You know, it's the same kind of thing. There's just this kind of like underlying kind of feeling that resonates with me, and it doesn't come from here. You know, it never comes from there. It just comes from somewhere within. You know what I mean? That just makes me feel very happy. It just feels very kind of comforting and welcoming, and it's very kind of like, you know, horror movie feeling welcoming. Yeah, but you know what I mean. But yeah, it does. But yeah, I don't know exactly why. I just love it. It's just the way it is. You know, and to be honest with you, I don't care not knowing. You know what I mean? It's one of those things that I don't care to know or really want to analyze. As long as it feels good, you know, it is good, and that's all that matters, kind of thing. So yeah, that's hopefully answered your question. Yes, hope that's answered your question. Gonna move on to question 5 now. I am rocketing. Am I rocketing? 22 minutes. I think that's rocketing for me. I don't know. Okay, so question 5 is, I'm not really sure how to answer this. I'm going to have to refer to my phone quickly. Okay, so question 5 today is, what do you think of Larry Corsa's guitars? And I seem to think I've tried one, but I could be wrong. Give me a sec, everybody. I am looking at images. I've looked at them before, and they look absolutely stunning. And I think Larry Corsa's that guy who does the Peter Green one. Yes, I have. I have tried a Corsa Les Paul. I do believe it was. I could be totally wrong in that assumption, but I do believe it was. A very good friend of mine bought his up for me to try, and I remember correctly, it was very nice. It had the Peter Green mod. It was very nice, and his guitars look stunning. So, I mean, they just look nice. I mean, I haven't really spent a lot of time with one, and I can imagine they're well out of my price range, buying-wise. But I remember reading about him. He's got a really good reputation and all that kind of thing. So yeah, I mean, they look great. The one I tried, which I'm pretty sure was, Mr. Simon, help me. You bought your Les Paul thing to show me. Was it a Corsa? I don't remember. Hopefully, if you're watching this video, let me know, because I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it was, and if it was, I really liked it. It was a really nice guitar. I can't remember it now, but, you know, because I'm a bit stupid. But yeah, I mean, they look amazing. They look amazing guitars. He's got a good reputation. I remember reading about them ages and ages and ages ago, and people saying how good they were. You know, how good they sound, how good they feel, how good they play, how good they look. And they look stunning. So, so yeah, I mean, other than that, I can't really give an honest opinion, because I haven't really spent a lot of time with one to really understand it and feel it and really kind of like dig deep with one of those things. So I can't really say honestly, you know what I mean? But the one I did try, if it was one, was very nice, and they look really gorgeous. So I put this question now to you, the people of the tube. Have you tried any of Larry Corsa's guitars, and if so, what was it like? And do you own one? And if so, what's it like? Let us know in the comment section below, everybody. Okay, so yeah, I can't really comment any further on that, because like I said, I don't really know because like I hadn't spent a lot of time with one. If I did play one, and you can't tell straight off the bat. You know what I mean? You need a bit of time to kind of like adjust and figure out. So yeah, but yeah, I hope it's answered your question. Like I say, Mr. Simon, help me. Was your guitar a Corsa or not? I don't remember. Oh, he's a clever one, is our Dave. Anyway, moving along. So, final question of the day, everybody. Question 6. Okay, so question 6 is could be a ramble, everybody. Not in a bad, I don't know. We'll see. We could tangent here quite well. Question 6 is, how long did it take you to fall in love with the Stadium Arcadium album by the Red Hot Chili Peppers? I think I fell in love with Stadium Arcadium as soon as I heard Danny California. I remember it was late. It was 10 o'clock one evening on Channel 4 in the UK. 10 o'clock. And they released the video for Danny California on TV. You won't get that anymore. Back in 2006. And they released the Danny California video. And that was the first time I'd heard Danny California. And literally, me, my brother and my sister all piled into the front room, and gathered around the TV and just watched it and was like, oh my God, that is absolutely amazing. You know, literally from dun-dun-dun-da, dun-dun-dun-da, and then you hear... Not with, without that much reverb. But, you know, from the moment go, it was like, that's amazing. I can't wait for the album. And then we saw them do Danny California on the Jonathan Ross show live. They were guests, and at the end of the show, he had live music. And they did Danny California live, and I was just like, holy monkeys. And seeing John do a big guitar solo like that was like, you know, again, because, you know, we'd come from By the Way and stuff like that, but was amazing. You know, the last time I'd seen him do like big guitar solos was like, you know, the end of the By the Way era. And then to hear this different tone he had, you know, this more warmer, rounder, fatter sound with really gained up with it, and then standing on the wire and going, wah! It was amazing. And I was just like, I was just in love from that point on. And I was like, I can't wait for the album. And the day the album got released, I went and bought it. And I seem to think I bought it from Woolworths. That could be totally wrong. When did Woolworths shut down? I can't remember. Let me just have a Google, because I seem to think I bought it from there. But I could be wrong. My God. If you put into Google, when did, you just get loads of when did people die. Like, when you just get a list of, like, loads of people, like, you know, when did this person die? When did this person die? It's like, my God. How morbid we are as a species! When did Woolworths close? Yeah, 13th of October, 2015. That doesn't seem right to me. Anyway, I seem to think I bought it from Woolworths. I remember, like, you know, I'll tell you what, here's a tangent for you. I really miss this. I really miss singles, CD singles. I remember going with my brother to Woolworths and buying Oasis singles. Like, I've still got them, and Chili Peppers singles, and other singles as well. Like, I remember going to, like, you know, get Don't Look Back in Anger on single, and it had 4 songs on it, and, you know, what else was there? Some Might Say and stuff like that. I miss buying singles, and I miss going into shops and loads of CDs. I miss that. You don't. There is. I mean, I know it's not totally out of kind of like circulation now, but there isn't many shops like Woolworths and places like that now where you can go and, like, you know, look at big CDs. Like, last time I went into HMV, it was all DVDs. There was barely any CDs. I was a bit confused by it, to say the least. So, you know, we've luckily got an awesome independent record shop in the town I live, and it's nice to go and scroll around in there. But it's sad, really. I miss that. I miss going to buy singles, and I miss the artwork, and I miss having it in your hands, and I miss the excitement of walking out the shop with a CD or a tape, and you have to get home before you listen to it, and you've got it in your hand, and you spend the entire walk home or the drive home looking at the inlaid booklet or looking at it or reading it and just holding it. I miss that with the whole kind of like, you know, the download thing straight to your phone and just being able to download one song that you want instead of having the whole album and listening to a whole album front to back to kind of like to see what you like and what you don't like. I feel like a bit of a dinosaur in a way saying that, but I do miss that. And I know it's not 100% gone, but it kind of is. You know, times are changing and things are shifting and you can't stand in the way of that. You've got to go with it, definitely. But I do miss it. I miss it horrifically. Like I said, I remember going to get all these CDs. I remember the first CD I ever bought was Linkin Park's Hybrid Theory. And I had to go and get my mum to buy it for me. Because... why was it? There was a reason. I can't remember. Mum had to go and buy it for me. But I remember... maybe because it... did it have... I remember I was still at school when it came out, so it might have had a parental advisory sticker on it, which means I wasn't able to buy it because I was too young. I remember my mum bought it for me. I remember she bought it for me, and I was at school. I was like, I can't remember what year. I was very, you know, and I don't know. I don't remember the reason I didn't get it bought. I bought it for me. I think I was like 16 or something like that, and yeah, it would have been 16 because it was just after I got into playing No, I'd have been 15 because it was just before I got into playing guitar. I started to get into music again. Because throughout school, I didn't listen to music. With one thing or another going on, like, you know, my horrific time at school, I didn't do anything. The only solace I had outside of school was computer games, Resident Evil 2 mainly, which I just immersed myself in. Other than that, I didn't really kind of like do it. I didn't listen to music. I had no interest in listening. I didn't even have a CD player until I was 15 again. And I bought that album because I'd heard my friend Tom, he had it. He had Crawling, I think, on single. And I loved it. And I remember like my mum picked me up from school that day and gave me the CD. And on the drive home from school to home, I was looking at the CD and I was like, I had the booklet out and I was like, I can't wait to listen to this. And you know, this and that. I remember buying Nickelback's How You Remind Me on tape single. I still have it because I loved that song as well. When it first came out, it came out on tape single, and I've still got it. And I remember it was like it's in a cardboard sleeve. It's not in a case. It's in a cardboard sleeve, and I remember listening to that. I think the tape barely works now. It's pretty much worn out. And the same thing with Hybrid Theory. That's the case on that is absolutely broken. The disc is scratched. It barely works, but I've still got it. And it was my first CD I bought when I first got back into music. And then I started, you know, stealing my brother's Oasis CDs and stuff like that. And I don't know. Music's changing in a very, very strange way. I told you this would be a tangent. Music's changing in a very strange way, and I don't feel like I really understand it. I don't feel... in all fairness, though, at this point in time, I feel the world... I don't really understand the world anymore. Not that I ever did anyway, and I don't think we are supposed to understand the world in any way, shape, or form. But I don't really understand the world I'm living in very much these days. I'm not very good with technology, and as a result, I feel like I'm a bit of a dinosaur and a bit out of touch with stuff. Like people always say to me to plug the Boss Katana into the Tone Studio and stuff like that. It's like I did try that, but my computer is so out of date. It actually can't download the Tone Studio. It's so so outdated. My laptop is that I can't actually download the Tone Studio. But that's fine by me because I never really want to do that anyway. Because I'm happy with just plugging in and playing. You know, which again these days makes me feel like a bit of a dinosaur. You know, and the whole thing of like just. I mean, the most update thing I've really got is my Line 6HX, and I'm really surprised how well I warm to that because I'm not normally I'm a stickler for when things work for me. I stick to like glue, like the Zoom, and the Governor, and the Ibanez wire, and the Vox wire, and the DS2, and the Golden Plexi, and the Jackhammer. But and I do feel like I'm a bit out. I do feel out of touch with the world. I feel very kind of out of my depth in everything. You know, one way or another. I don't feel like I belong. It's a very strange feeling. Do I like it? I don't know. You know, do I not like it? I definitely don't like. I agree with that. I'm not... I know, it feels funny. I just feel out of touch with everything. I just feel like I'm... to give a kind of like an image that I've given before about the whole music industry and things in general, this is how I always feel, and this is how I've always felt, that I'm always the last one to report to catch the last boat, if you know what I mean. It's like, I have this mental image in my head, and I've had it for absolutely years and years and years, of me sat on a pier on my own as the sun's going down. I'm sat on a suitcase of all things, and I'm just sat there watching this boat go. You know, I mean, it's this really clear image, and the sun's going down. It's like, and I see it from, if I'm sat where I am in my image in the head, the boat's directly in front of me, and the pier's all around me, and that's kind of like the edge there. The sun's over there, and I'm seeing it from up there. And it's this kind of like cinematic kind of shot, so to say, almost, of me. But the really weird thing is, I keep getting this kind of like reoccurring memory of it. Well, thought of it, seriously. It's not really a memory because it hasn't never happened. But it's me running to the dock. And as I get there with my suitcase, whatever's in the suitcase, the boat's pulling away, and I hear it, you know what I mean? In that kind of like really stereotypical cliche kind of way. And it pulls away. And I just put my suitcase down and I sit on it. And it's like almost like a camera pans out from me. Like, I pan out from myself. It's weird. And that's the way I feel even more so every day. Like, I never really feel like I belong. I've never have felt like I belong. It's a very strange feeling to feel like you don't belong somewhere. And I don't mean to sound silly or stupid like that, because... But yeah, it is true for me. It is very true for me. I do feel that like I'm a bit... There's a version of White Stripes doing Jolene at the Blackpool Lights gig, where they filmed it on Super 8. And before Jolene, he talks about George Harrison saying something about Blackpool Lights. And he says, I'm in the right place at the wrong time. Meaning basically like, you know, he feels like he, you know, and yeah, well, I explain in a sec. He says, like, I'm in the right place at the wrong time, and everyone goes, yeah, and he goes, that's how I feel every day, implying that he feels like he should have been born a long time ago, and he would have fit in better. And I couldn't understand that totally about Jack White because of the way he is. So, I was going to get a drink, but I don't have one, so that's okay. I'm going to have to just deal with my throat drying out for the time being. And that's how I feel. I do feel that, like, you know, I feel that like I feel like I don't belong, and I'm sure quite a lot of people out there in YouTube land, you feel the same way. I'll tell you one thing though. I'll tell you one thing for something. Since starting this YouTube channel and getting all the support from you that I've got over the years of doing this YouTube channel, it'll be 6 years this year. I think, is it 6 years? 6 years or 7 years? I think it's 6 years this year in June or July. I've been doing YouTube, and since all the support of you awesome people out there, I feel like I have a place where I belong. You know what I mean? It sounds corny and cheesy, but it's true. I do feel like I have a place where I can go and be accepted for who I am and what I am, instead of kind of like being judged for what I am. I'm sure there's trolls out there who have done that, but I don't care about them. They can do what they want. You know what I mean? What matters to me is the people who care and who support. You know what I mean? And if I can help you in return, then that's the best thing in the world to me, and that's all that I care about. And it gives me a feeling of belonging, which, in all fairness, I've never really had, and it gets stronger day by day that I feel like I don't belong, and it scares me a little bit. You know what I mean? To be honest with you, I feel a bit kind of out of touch, and I feel a bit like a dinosaur, and like I shouldn't, you know, not be here. That's not the right word, but I feel like I'm kind of like... I think of the words. I don't know. It's a funny feeling, and I'm sure that quite a few people out there will feel the same way. I have massively tangent off the point of this question, but yeah, I do feel a bit kind of out of touch and a bit kind of like I just feel like a dinosaur. I just feel like a dinosaur, and you know, certain things that I love have gone. You know, like I say, going to buy an album and having to walk home with it, and looking at the artwork, and just sitting down with your CD player and just getting lost and just drenched in the music. You know, I feel that's kind of going. It's not gone. And I don't think it will ever go 100%, but it is going. It's not as strong as it was. You know what I mean? Music these days is a lot more throwaway than it was. You know what I mean? It just is, in my opinion. You know, this is all my opinion. I just feel that it's kind of a lot more kind of like, you know, it's pop tripe and all that kind of nonsense. Let's just get, just get somebody going whoop whoop on an album, and that'll sell millions, and it does. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being really cynical and just stupid. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being an idiot. But it's the way I feel about things. And like I say, I do feel that like I don't belong, and it scares me slightly. I do feel like but I'm not going to conform just because, to fit in. I've never done that. I tried to do that once, and it got me into a very, very dark place, because that was what happened at school. I remember, like, at school, the reason I got picked on was because, I was different. I was a different person. I had a different personality to everybody else. I was small, I was quiet, I'm very shy, I'm very kind of, like, withdrawn. I don't really have... I'm not outgoing at all. I'm not, I'm a very boring person. Let's put it that way. I'm a very boring person. I'm one of those people who, instead of kind of like going out and getting drunk, was quite happy to sit in and play Resident Evil all night, like, constantly, And then when guitar came along, I was quite happy to play Resident Evil and then go and play guitar constantly all night. And I'm not interested in kind of like the chosen norm of life. It's never appealed to me. Like, I've always kind of like quite enjoyed solitary things, because like, again, I've never felt like I really belong anywhere. So yeah, and I think that's one of the reasons why music and guitar means so much to me, is because it is my kind of confidence thing. It gives me that ability, and it also puts me in situations that I wouldn't normally put myself in, like being in front of a camera now. I couldn't start up a YouTube channel with just like me talking about something. I wouldn't be able to do it. The guitar is my safety blanket, and it's my best friend. And as a result of that, it gives me confidence to do things that I normally couldn't do. You know what I mean? So it's my best friend, and it always will be. And but yeah. Anyway, to get back to the question at hand, because I would talk about that for hours, and I think I've just absolutely burnt through time there talking about that. But anyway. But yeah, let me know, people of Tube. Does anybody out there feel the same way like that? Like, you feel you're a bit of a dinosaur, like you're a bit outdated? Because I feel massively outdated. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comment section below, everybody. But yeah, like I say though, since having this YouTube channel, and having all you people out there like watch this channel and support this channel and leave the most awesome comments and the most awesome kind of like uplifting, confidence building things you've given me, I do feel like I have a place where I belong. You know what I mean? In the world, it's like, this is where you belong, Dave. You actually have a place, and it really does feel nice. I feel out of place in the world, but in this world, I'm quite happy. I belong here. You know what I mean? That's what it makes me feel, and that, there isn't. I've never really felt that before that much, to be honest with you. I always feel like I'm kind of like transient between things. Like I'm never this thing or that thing. I am what I am, and I'm always trying to like drifting around trying to find where I belong, and with doing this, I feel like I have actually found that, and I really, really love it, and and it's because of you lot. If it wasn't for you lot, this won't be happening. It's nothing, it's nothing I do. It's because of you supporting me, which is the absolute peak of amazingness to me. I appreciate it so much. I literally couldn't express it. I could never express how grateful I am to all of you watching right now. I just could not do it. Words do not come close. I could probably get close with the guitar, but I don't know if that still might fall short. I might try that one day just to say thank you. I might try and really channel it, because it just makes me so happy, to a point where I could literally just like, have a bit of a little kind of like a bit of a breakdown because I'm so happy about it. You know, it's so cool, and like I said, I just feel like I belong here, and that's a gorgeous thing for somebody like me who's never felt like they have. You know, I still don't. Like I said, I still don't feel like I belong in the outside world, so to say. But here at this point in time, I feel very comfortable, very happy. I'm not, you know, I'm not scared of anything that's going on in my head or anything that's that and the other, or what's going on in the world or whatever. You know, I'm happy, I'm comfy, you know, and it's all because of you lot. You know, because you put me at ease. You give me the confidence to do it. You know, so thank you so much indeed. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much. Okay, so let's go back to question 6 quickly before I just talk for the rest of the time and it's not interesting. Question 6 was, how long did it take to fall in love with Stadium Arcadium? Straight away. I went and bought it from... my brother took me into town. I hopped out the car because there was nowhere to park in the town. I hopped out the car, went into Woolworths, bought it. It was about 12 quid, which for a double album is crazy. Came home, put it on. Down in California started. Loved it. Snow, loved it. Charlie, loved it. Stadium Arcadium, loved it. So on and so forth. Wet Sand, immediately fell head over heels in love with Wet Sand. And oddly enough, me and my brother sat listening to the whole album, whole first disc, whole second disc, and then we went back again and we listened to the first album, first disc, and the second disc again. You know, we listened to it twice, first time around, and then we just listened to it for the rest of the day, picking out certain bits. And I immediately started work on trying to figure out Wet Sand and Down in California and Snow and stuff like that, and that was it. There are some songs on Stadium Arcadium that I don't know, but I do know quite a lot of them. But yeah, I love that album. It's got so much meaning to me as well. It's the soundtrack to my past relationship. It really is. It really kind of every time I hear it, it takes me back to that point in time. And it's not a negative, which is nice. You know, it could easily be a negative because I'm no longer in that relationship. You know what I mean? It could easily be a negative kind of experience, but it's always a positive. You know, Stadium Arcadium brings out the best of what that was, and it just makes me happy. It takes me to a very happy place. Stadium Arcadium is. It does. Sorry. And like I say, it just became a soundtrack to that point in time. Much as the Empyrean by John became a soundtrack to the period after that. Straight after our relationship ended, the Empyrean kind of came out, and that became a soundtrack to that. And it takes me back to that time again, which was quite negative but had more positives. So it's a very kind of roller coaster ride, Stadium Arcadium for me emotionally, and the Empyrean, because they mean so much to me. You know, because Stadium Arcadium is just nothing but positivity, and I remember being on holiday in the Lake District with my ex-partner, and that was all we listened to pretty much was Stadium Arcadium, and around that period of time that was pretty much all kind of I listened to, and it just became a soundtrack to that, and I'm just so grateful to have that music to take me back to that feeling when I want to feel it. You know what I mean? It's a nice feeling. It's a very nice feeling. And it was a great period it was a great point in my life. It was a really, really nice point in my life. And it's nice to revisit points like that. It's like looking at old family albums when you see yourself when you were young, like, you know, a family wedding or a barbecue or something like that. And you immediately go back to that point and you feel what it felt like, and you can almost smell the smells and feel that these people are here with you, even when you're on your own, you know. So yeah, so Stadium Arcadium means a lot to me because of that reason. It really does. By the way, it's kind of like the album that takes me back to learning guitar. By the way, and the Black Album by Metallica take me back to learning guitar, and Dookie by Green Day and Conspiracy One by The Offspring. Those albums take me back to learning guitar. First kind of like, you know, forays into playing guitar. And Californication as well. But by the way, even more so than Californication, because that was the album I had when I first started playing guitar, and that's the one I learned every song off, including Tia, which I learned the piano part on guitar, which I can't remember anymore. I remember it's like that. but I don't remember it. But so yeah, Stadium Arcadium means a lot to me, like I say, because of that period of time. But I'm just grateful for, you know, whatever made it happen. I'm grateful for it, and I love it. That period of time was just great. And but like most things, things have to come to an end, and that's the way that is. But if I want to feel that feeling, I can always put that record on and listen to it. And it just takes me back to that time, and it just makes me feel great. And that's the beauty of music, is it just gives you that ability to kind of go back in time and go forward in time and just live in the moments of things that have gone by. And I think that's one of the most beautiful things about music and guitar playing, is it gives you the ability to escape whatever's going on at that point in time. Jimi Hendrix always used to say, like, at the beginning of his gigs, forget about today and tomorrow, whatever happened, it doesn't matter. This is our own little world. That's all that matters, and that is so true. So when you stick on a CD or a song, you've really got to close your eyes and feel and think about what it means to you, and it'll give you that ability to kind of like go back in time and really kind of like feel how you felt at a point in time and relive those memories again. And Stadium Arcadium does that beautifully for me, and much in the same way, by the way, the Empyrean, Dookie, Conspiracy of One, Linkin Park Hybrid Theory, all these albums, Morning Glory by Oasis, Definitely Made by Oasis, the Pogues, Sex Pistols, all these Stranglers, all these artists give the soundtrack to my life, much in the same way you all have your soundtracks to your lives, and they give you that ability to go back in time and relive those moments, good, bad, or ugly, or beautiful. Yeah, so I'm getting all emotional now about music, everybody, but it does get me very charged up in that way, and it does make me feel very kind of emotional about it, and I think that's a great thing. I don't like the idea of hiding stuff like that, emotion from things. I don't think from people and in things in general. I don't think it's a good thing to do. So yeah. But anyway, yeah, I fell in love with Stadium Arcadium immediately. It's the soundtrack to, like I say, that period of my life, my past relationship, and that period of time. Much in the same way, Empyrean is the soundtrack to it afterwards, like that, and and so on and so forth. So yeah. So yeah, that's that. Like I said, I don't know every song off Stadium Arcadium, but I do know a lot of them. So yeah. Anyway, I'm going to have to finish there, everybody, because I've nearly run out of time. So my tangent is done, everybody. The tangent for the day is over. I hope it hasn't been too boring for you. There's some people just like, oh, Willie, just shut up. Anyway. Moving along. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this Q&A. I hope I've answered your questions okay, and I will see you again on Friday for a shootout video. I'm quite looking forward to this shootout video, actually. It should be quite a giggle. So, and it'd be interesting to hear back what you have to say. But okay, we'll get to that on Friday. Not until Friday. So yeah, have a great morning, afternoon, and good evening, everybody. And go and listen to your favourite album. And just put it on really loud. Lay down on the floor. Close your eyes. And let it soak you. Put on your favourite music and let it just soak you. And just relive memories, feelings, everything. That's my advice for today, everybody. That's this evening. That's my advice for the morning, the evening, or the afternoon. Morning, afternoon, and evening. Get it right around. That's my advice to you right now. Yeah, be that for what it is. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, everybody, and I'll see you again on Friday. Have a great morning, afternoon, and good evening. And I'll see you again. Goodbye now. Thank you very much.